Hello, everybody. My name is Tracy Moon. I'm an occupational therapist here with the Cognitive Empowerment Program. Today, we're going to be talking about fall prevention. We're going to talk about why we should be talking about falls. We're going to talk about what causes falls. And then I'm going to hopefully give you some practical tips that you can be on the lookout for and have in place to prevent you from falling in your home and in your community. We know that more than 1 in 4 adults age 65 and older have fallen. Statistically, we know that it's a problem. Falls are the number one cause of injury and death from injury in those 65 and older. And having already sustained an injury from a fall puts you in the very high risk category for another fall with injury. And I tell you this not to scare you, but so that you can be aware. Nobody ever thinks that falling is a problem until it becomes a problem. So my goal is to give you the tools to kind of look at falling a little bit differently and have a more proactive mindset than a reactive one. 36% of the population reports a fear of falling. So know that if you are somebody that is like, I'm afraid I'm going to fall, I watched my neighbor go through this and I don't want to fall, then you're not alone. That is a very real fear that a lot of people have. Um, what I want you to do is to use that fear of falling as a cautionary tale and not as something that keeps you from engaging in activities. A healthy fear is a good fear, but what I don't want to happen is this cycle where you're afraid of falling, so you don't engage in those activities that you love to do because you're afraid you're going to fall. So then you become weaker because you're not engaging in those activities, and then you fall because you haven't been as active as you used to be. So a healthy fear is good and can warrant caution, but I don't want it to become debilitating. So where do falls occur the most? We know that falls occur the most in our homes. It's kind of like that old saying that car wrecks happen most frequently 5 miles from your house. And it's because you're the most comfortable there. You're the most comfortable on the routes 5 miles from your house. And it's the same with falling. In your home, you're more comfortable. Whereas if you're at the grocery store, you're kind of at high alert. You are watching everything, you're very cautious, you're maybe pushing a cart to help stabilize you. Um, Falls can occur anywhere, obviously, the Dairy Queen when you go get ice cream, but they occur most frequently in our homes. And I think that's because we kind of let our hair down. We aren't as cautious in our homes as we are when we're out in public and going about our day. So within our homes, the places that falls occur the most are in our bedroom and living room. 30% in our bedroom, 31% in our living room, 16% in our kitchen, 13% in the bathroom, and 10% in the hallway. So a little bit of everywhere, but most frequently in our living room and bedroom, and again, where we are typically the most comfortable. Why do we fall? There are obviously a plethora of reasons that we could fall, and I could go on all day about it. But some things that I wanted to highlight are first, medication. Our medication can cause us to be dizzy or drowsy. And so it's important to know what the side effects are of your medications and how they make you feel. Medications, specifically ones that are prescribed to help you sleep, things like trazodone or things like that that are meant to make you tired, can lead to falls because their kind of goal is to turn your brain off and help you get to sleep. So if you have taken that and you need to get up to go to the bathroom or you're going into the kitchen to get some water, know that you are at a higher fall risk because you are taking the medications like you're supposed to as you're prescribed, but they do affect the way that we feel and how quickly we're able to react to our environment. Some other things, and probably the most common, is lower body weakness and impaired balance. This can be just general weakness in our legs. Maybe getting up from a chair isn't as easy as it used to be, and you stumble. Or stepping up onto a curb isn't as easy as it used to be, and you stumble. Or weakness in our ankle muscles that we don't necessarily realize. We don't feel any weaker, but our ankle muscles are a little bit weaker and they're not able to catch us as well as they used to. Um, that all can increase our fall risk. And then impaired balance can come from a variety of things. Impaired balance can come from weakness. Maybe our legs just aren't as sturdy as they used to be, but it can also come from things like vertigo. Maybe we have some inner ear trouble. If we turn our head too quick, maybe the room starts to spin, or um, we get a little dizzy. Or it could be we stand up too quick and our blood pressure drops and things kind of go, black. Whatever it might be, those would be things that we could look at: lower body weakness or impaired balance. And then another one I want to highlight is vision changes. Vision plays a big role in our balance and how we perform and interact with our environment. I encourage all of you to get annual eye exams. Maybe you're somebody that's had the exact same prescription since you were 13 years old, and you think, I don't need to keep going to that doctor every year. Or maybe you're somebody that's never worn glasses in your life, and you're like, you're nuts. I have 20/20 vision. I don't need to go to the eye doctor. Our eyes inevitably change as we age, and sometimes it can be so gradual and so small that we don't even realize it. But things like cataracts can become problematic, or our vision just not seeing colors as vibrantly as we used to. All of that comes into play when it comes to stepping up onto a curb, or our depth perception, or, seeing the cat as it runs in front of us, whatever it might be. Our vision plays a big role in our balance and how we are able to interact and respond to our environment. Vitamin and mineral deficiencies, of course. I know that you all have heard about how our food supply isn't as nutrient dense as it used to be. And because of that, we're seeing more and more vitamin and mineral deficiencies. Also, our palate just changes as we get older. Maybe we're not eating as much as we used to, or eating as many veggies as we should, or whatever it might be. If you're concerned about your vitamin and mineral deficiencies, I would talk to your doctor and ask for a blood test. They can check all that. But making sure that you're eating a well-rounded diet and taking your vitamins as you're supposed to, all of that is going to be really important. Another one is sensation disturbances. So especially if you have poor circulation, or are a diabetic, or have neuropathy, things like that can affect your feet and maybe cause pins and needles, or just poor sensation in our feet. So those are things to be mindful of. That can make us a fall risk because maybe we don't feel how well we're picking up our feet, or we don't feel the little toy car under our feet that we're stepping on, or whatever it might be. That sensation and proprioception plays a really big role in keeping us balanced. Barriers within your environment. This is probably going to be the one that I talk the most about, is how to set your environment up to work with you, not against you. But there are barriers within your environment that could cause you to fall. Things like a rug that's rolled up, or if you're a big walker in your neighborhood, maybe there's a tree root coming out of the sidewalk, or somebody dropped an ice cube in the kitchen floor and now it's a puddle and you slip and fall on that. All of that are environmental barriers, so nothing to do with you, completely out of your control, but something that could cause you to fall. And then the last one is improper footwear. We're going to talk a little bit more about this in a couple slides, but your footwear can make a huge difference. I can't tell you how big of a difference you will see if you switch your little heels or flip-flops out for a good supportive pair of tennis shoes. It could keep you on your feet. So some home safety things, back to those environmental factors that could cause you to fall. Some things that you can do right now as you're watching this webinar are to remove the clutter. I know that somebody on this webinar has a little corner of their house that catches everything, or their staircase to their basement catches everything. So I encourage you to just take the time. It's fall. We have a fall clean out, to just remove that clutter. Even if you have lived in your home for the last 30 years and you're like, ma'am, this clutter has been here for the last 30 years and I know right where it is, so I'm not going to trip on it. I want you to go move it because all of these things are maybe fine and not a big deal. But again, falling is not a problem until it's a problem. And so if you wake up one morning and you slept really awful last night, you're dehydrated from the day before, maybe you have a UTI or a cold or whatever it might be, you're just feeling crappy, and you wake up and walk through your house, I want you to be set up for success on your worst possible day. So that means removing the clutter so that there's nothing that you could trip over if you're walking through your house groggy. Another thing that you can do is organizing your cabinets and drawers. I know that this may seem silly and be like, what does this have to do with falling? But again, if you've lived in the same house for the last 30 years, then you may have noticed that your kitchen environment is set up the exact same way that it was 30 years ago. And if you're keeping all of your pots and pans and cooking dishes on the very bottom shelf of the very bottom cabinet in your kitchen, that may not be serving you anymore. It may not be in your best interest to bend all the way down to the floor to pick up pots and pans every single time you cook. Or if your spice cabinet is arranged the exact same way that it's always been arranged, that may not be serving you anymore if you're having to get up on your tippy toes to get the garlic powder out that you use for every single meal. So I want to encourage you to go into your closet, go into your kitchen, and organize everything. The pie dish that you only use one time a year, maybe coming up soon for Christmas, put it on the very bottom shelf or on the very top. The things that you're not using regularly, put those things on the very bottom or on the very top of your kitchen. The things that you're using regularly, like the pan that you fry your egg in and your morning coffee cup, put those things on kind of the middle level. A way to think about shelves and drawers and cabinets that are between your hips and your eyes. So the kind of that bottom level of the top cabinets and the top level of the bottom cabinets. That is where all of the stuff that you're using regularly should go. So that way you're not having to bend all the way down and pick up something heavy or reach up on your tiptoes to get something off the top shelf. The other one is remove your throw rugs. I know that throw rugs can be beautiful and they can make a room. They can set you apart from everybody else. But again, if you're thinking about your worst day, you wake up and you're feeling crappy and, you know, your cat is driving you nuts, then walking down the hall to a rug that is, maybe the corner's flipped up or has a bump in it is not going to work well for you. So throwing away not throwing them away. You can give them away, donate them, sell them, whatever you want to do, pack them away for later. But removing your throw rugs out of the middle of your floor can go a long way. If you are somebody that uses a walker, then I know that you know what I'm talking about because walkers notoriously get caught on rugs. Their wheels or the little blades that go on the bottom always get caught on rugs and either flip them up or tip the walker, one of the two. So getting those out of the way, as sad as it will be, can help save you. Another thing that you can do if you're like, I'm not doing it. I'm not throwing away these rugs. You're nuts. Um, don't throw away your rugs. I didn't mean that, but put away your rugs. But if you're like, I'm not putting away these rugs, this girl's crazy, then at least make sure that you have a good non-slip bottom on them and tack down the corners. They make like heavy weighted, I don't really know what they are, but they're like corner attachments that weigh down your rug so that way they don't flip up as easily. So if you refuse to remove them, at least make sure that they are non-slip on the back and weighted down so that they don't flip up as easily. Move your cords out of the walkway. This may seem like a duh statement, but it's not. There are cords in everybody's houses that are going out of their way to get to an item. So if you have cords that cross a walkway or cross a room or whatever it might be, I encourage you to either move the item that they're attached to, move it closer to where it's plugged in, or find a way to tack the cord so that it runs along your baseboard. That way you don't have to worry about tripping, even if you know that the cord has been there for the last 30 years. Tuck it out of the way so that way there's no risk of falling on it. And this includes in your bedroom. Those phone chargers and things like that that are reaching across your room, find a better system, whatever it might be, even if you need to add an extension cord so that it can run along your baseboards. Get the cords out of the way. And then use your assistive device as directed. I want to really emphasize this one. If your doctor has ever told you to use a walker or a cane or a rollator, those cool ones with the seat and the four wheels, I want to encourage you to use it. Some people refuse to use them because they don't want to look old or they don't, they think that it just gets in their way. But if your doctor has recommended it, then they recommended it for a reason. So use your assistive device as directed and use it properly. If you are using a cane or a walker, a good rule of thumb is if you're standing up straight, it should hit right about your wrist, the little wrist crease. That's how you know that it's a good height. Most of them are adjustable, and sometimes we see people with them too high, sometimes we see people with them too low. But if you're standing up straight and got your arms by your side, a good rule of thumb is to adjust it to whatever height hits right about your wrist. And then use it properly. I see so many people walking with a walker, but their walker is way out in front of them and they're walking hunched over. Don't do it. I encourage you not to do it. You want to walk upright with your walker just right in front of you in line with your legs. I say to all of my patients, you should be pushing the walker should not be walking you. So stand up straight, walk properly with your walker. You should not be depending on it, but just using it as needed. So use your assistive devices. And if you have questions about that, if you're like, I don't know if I'm using this thing right, then ask somebody. Ask somebody in the healthcare field. Ask Barbara down the road that's a nurse. Ask your doctor. Just ask for your own safety. Advocate for yourself and ask your doctor, ask whoever, somebody that you're working with, how you're supposed to use it and see if they'll show you. And if all else fails, if you're like, man, I'm really using this thing wrong, then seek a physical therapy evaluation. A physical therapist will work with you one-on-one to make sure that you're using it properly, show you how to use it, and help strengthen you to get you using it adequately. So ask for help. Okay, going back to the proper footwear. I cannot tell you how big of a deal footwear is. If you are walking the park and you've got flip-flops that are sliding out of your feet, then you're not setting yourself up for success. A good, solid footwear is really important. Something that supports your foot all the way around, and most importantly, something that has a good non-slip sole. So these rubber soles with the grooves in the bottom are what you're looking for. These particular shoes that I have pictured here are called the Skechers slip-ins. They are something that has been on the market not that long, and they are my favorite. The back of the shoe has what they call a heel pillow, and it is just like a sturdy but cushioned little pillow that keeps the heel from bending down. So with these shoes, you can truly just slip them on. You don't have to worry about bending all the way over and making sure that the heel is pulled up. These are just a good option. I'm not sponsored by Skechers, unfortunately. But I really do love these shoes, and I've seen several people wear them. They've got a good secure fit, and you don't have to mess with shoelaces, and they really are a good slip on without wearing down the back of your shoe. Adequate lighting. We touched a little bit on vision and how important vision is to your balance. And the same goes for lighting. If you have 20/20 vision, but are getting up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night with all of the lights in your house off, then you're not setting yourself up for success. You are basically walking through your house with your eyes closed, which would be hard for anybody. So, a bright light is best. Although I know, as well as any of you, that flipping on the lights in the middle of the night is not an option. You're going to mess with your circadian rhythm. You're going to be up for the rest of the night if you do that. So these options right here to the side, they're called Mr. Beam. They're just a little square and they're super simple. They're little night lights that just stick on your wall. It's like a command strip on the back. You pull the paper off and they can stick anywhere. Night lights are also really good. The problem with night lights is that you have to have a plug available for the night light to go in, which some people have good plug placement, but other people don't. So this would be a good option if you don't have a good plug to put a nightlight in. These you can just take the paper off the back, stick them anywhere on the wall along your path to the bathroom. So I like these because I always tell patients you can put them on the wall so that as soon as I wake up in the middle of the night and I put my feet on the floor. They're right above my baseboard and can light the way to go to the bathroom. They are motion activated, so as I get up, they'll turn on, and then once I get in bed, as I'm still, they'll turn back off. So these are really good options. They're battery operated. Um, and again, they just shine the light down towards the ground, so it's not a big production that's gonna wake you up and mess with your circadian rhythm. Bath mats. This is the only rug I like for people to have. Those real thin decorative ones that people put in their bathroom, I do not recommend those. I recommend you do give those away or throw them away. Um, and invest in some good bath mats. We know that bathrooms are a little bit more dangerous. More falls tend to occur outside the bathroom, as you saw earlier, but the falls that do occur in the bathroom can be detrimental. If you fall in your bedroom or in your living room, you typically have a little bit more room, first of all, to fall, but there's also softer surfaces, maybe carpet, maybe a couch, maybe a bed. But in the bathroom, you're either hitting tile or hardwood floors. There's no padding usually in a bathroom. So bathroom falls can be detrimental. So the next couple of slides are specific to bathrooms, and that's why. But this first mat that you see right here is one for outside the shower. So this is just a good sturdy mat. It's got like a microfiber top so it absorbs all the water as it comes down, and then it's got a memory foam inside so there's no water running, no pooling of water, anything like that. And then the bottom is a good heavy non-slip material. So as you step out of the shower, it's not going to slide out from underneath you or anything like that. And then this other one over here to the right is called a loofah bath mat. Loofah, I believe. Loofah bath mat. And those are really good because they are like a sponge material. It's like interwoven pieces of rubber. Um, and these are ideal because they provide good proprioceptive input into your feet. They're kind of rough, but they also let the water and soap just drain right through them. So like I said, it's kind of like a sponge. There's holes all in it. So everything drains. You may have experience with those uh clear bath mats that have suction cups on the bottom that everybody used to have, and they collected mildew like it was nobody's business, and they got slippery as time went on. So these loofah ones will not do that. They will not get slimy. The water runs through them, so it's not going to pool on top. They are a good Tracy approved option. This tub clamp is one of my favorites. It is a super simple option if you have a tub shower combo. So if you are stepping over into a tub to shower, then I know you know that that can be a little scary because your shower is wet, everything is soapy, and you're having to do a pretty big step up with your knee to get over into that tub. So this option, you see the screw right there on the front, just clamps down on the side of your tub. There's no holes, it doesn't drill in, it just kind of clamps together. And gives you a grab bar to support. So as you're stepping over, you have that white handle to hold on to and give you extra stability as you step over into the tub. These are also nice because you can put them on and take them off whenever. If you're somebody that has a lot of company, then you could take it off whenever you have company. You could take it with you to a hotel, whatever. These are really nice because they're portable. And then grab bars. I think for a while people were afraid to have grab bars in their house because they were like, I do not want my house to look like a nursing home. I'm not putting a grab bar up. But we have come a really long way with grab bars. They have really sleek, decorative grab bars nowadays. This one over here to the left, as you see, is beautiful, and nobody would ever guess that it's a grab bar. It just looks like a towel holder. And then the one over to the right is a good option for next to your commode. So this one just looks like it is a toilet paper holder, and nobody would ever know that it's a grab bar. So there are a lot of really good options out there, but I do encourage you to look at getting some grab bars installed into the studs of your walls for that added security in the bathroom. Shower chairs. These are nice and I think very underrated. People kind of dismiss shower chairs. They don't really think about them unless they cannot stand. But I always like to say, my energy for my day is going to go into what's most important. And if, your legs can only tolerate so much in one day, then I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it to go to lunch with my friends or play with my grandkids or whatever it is that I want to do for the day. My energy is not going into a shower. I can tell you that much. So these are nice because you can just pop them right in. They just pick up and sit down in the shower, and then you can sit down, do what you need to do. There's still room to stand up if you need to stand up, but it does have drain holes so it's not collecting water. And then it's kind of got that rough textured surface so that you're not going to feel like you're sliding all over the place as you add soap. So shower chairs are really nice and I think underrated. People don't think of them as much of a convenience as they really are. A shower caddy. I think everybody should have a shower caddy in their shower. As I mentioned, showers can be dangerous because you have hot, steamy water, you're vasodilated, so your blood's rushing everywhere. You don't have your glasses on because it's a shower, and everything is slippery and soapy. So the last thing that anybody should be doing is bending down to pick their shampoo up off the floor. So these shower caddies are really nice. These are just some options. There are a ton of options on Amazon, at Home Depot, at Walmart even, wherever you shop, Target. This first one on the top is a floor to ceiling tension bar, and those little baskets have an adjustable height. So this one is nice because you can really customize it to whatever height is most comfortable for you. And then this other one on the bottom just is a stand that you put in the corner of your shower. So again, just getting everything up off the floor is ideal. It doesn't have to be a big fancy production. It could be a shower caddy that goes over the head of your shower or over the door of your shower. Whatever you think will look best in your bathroom, I'm here for. Just get your stuff up off the floor so that you're not having to bend all the way down. That is all that I have for home safety. I do want to encourage you to be your own advocate. You know your body. and you know if you feel a little bit unsteady or you feel a little bit weak. And I encourage you to talk to your doctor. Talk to your doctor about what's going on. Ask for a referral to physical therapy or occupational therapy and be proactive about your health. If you're feeling like things are a little bit off, then they're off. And that's all that anybody needs to know. You don't have to have a bunch of excuses. You don't have to have a laundry list of reasons why you need to get stronger. If you're feeling a little weak or a little unsteady, or, like I am a little bit of a fall risk, then talk to your doctor. They can look at those initial things that we looked at, like your sensation, your vision, your vitamin and minerals. They can also refer you to physical or occupational therapy. Um, you can't, I'm not gonna name them because there are a ton of really great therapy companies. But there you can look up whatever company is in your area, look at the reviews if you want, and go see a therapist, and they will be able to customize a plan to fit you. Whatever, is going on. They'll be able to customize a plan to address your needs and get you stronger proactively instead of reactively. I think a lot of times people think of therapy as like, I fell and broke my hip, so I went to therapy. But therapy also can be a proactive solution to keeping you strong and independent rather than having to be a reactive solution. And if you're somebody that is at home and not able to get to a therapy gym 2 to 3 times a week, maybe you don't drive, maybe um whatever it might be, whatever your reason is, you cannot get to a gym, then ask your doctor for a home health therapy order. Um, Therapists will come straight out to your house and do the therapy right there in your home to get you stronger. So advocate for yourself, ask for what you need, and keep moving your body. I challenge you all today, this week, to go try something new, whether it's walking, whether it's physical therapy or occupational therapy, or a group exercise class that you've never tried before. But get out there, move your body, and come tell us about it next week. I'll see you later. Bye.